Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning, BBs. It is too early.
What is that?
I don't know. Why is there noise to it?
Also, what's happening in my
What's
hair?
going on? Hey, welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Alfalfa. Can I fix it? Can I?
Did you fix it? Is it fixed?
No!
Did you fix? No, that's just what it is. That's just what it is now.
I don't like it one bit, I'll tell you that.
You don't have to.
Hi, good morning, and I'm Saige Ryan.
And let me tell you something. There's news today,
Uh-huh.
and I forgot to scrape my tongue,
Okay.
and I can feel it, and I don't like the feeling of it.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, I can mute this. Hold on.
Yeah. I was like, please make it not do.
Just kidding.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to do over here.
Okay. Look, hey, we're on a new tech setup. As you can tell by how beautiful everything looks, right?
Right? So beautiful.
There's gonna be some little tech things to figure out as we go. Our new streaming software. We got new overlays for it. We're
just vibing with it, you know?
The thing is, we're vibing.
The thing
That's
is,
actually it.
we're
You're
kind of
so
just vibing with it and seeing how it feels.
You're so right.
You know, that's what you got to do. We're kind of just vibing with it.
I stick to floss and brush myself. Oh no, I'm the same. I got a tongue scrape.
You got a tongue scrape.
You got a tongue scrape, or else you got stinky breath.
I can just feel it on my tongue.
Yeah, it feels bad.
Feels bad on my tongue.
New overlay is so perfect. Thank you very much, G-Rex.
Thank you. That's not true, but I appreciate you saying it.
It's pretty good.
It's getting there.
It does keep making noises
It
at us.
do keep making a noise.
Wait, are you all hearing it? I guess that's an important question, right?
If you hear it, no, you're not hearing it?
They're not hearing
Oh,
it.
then it might just be,
It's just for us.
Yeah, it's just a little noise for us as a treat.
As a distraction.
As a treat to mess with our heads. That's all.
That's it.
That's all it is.
And honestly, it's working. It's definitely working.
Who knows if it
Patreon
works?
only white noise. Yeah. We'll post the sound on the Patreon. A clicking noise? No, it's not clicking. The clicking is the clicking. The sound that we're hearing is like an alert sound every time something happens, but
Why are you hearing a weird clicking? What's going on? You know what? I don't want to know. Nobody tell me anything about tech. Good morning.
Good morning, BBs.
There's news.
There is news.
Big news.
And you know what?
Huge news.
There's news in a galaxy far, far away.
The biggest of all the news.
The furthest of all the news.
It's the farthest and it's the longest time ago. EA is working on some new Star Wars games, to which most people would normally go, oh. But what if I told you it was Respawn and they're working on 3 new games? Seems like from now on, if EA is making Star Wars games, they go straight to Respawn.
Which I'm not mad at.
I'm not mad at either.
As far as making an EA Star Wars game, make Respawn. One of those is intended to be the sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which, of course, we knew that was happening.
We knew it was coming.
That's the most expected of it.
Shout out to Stig and the rest of the crew over there at Jedi Fallen Order. You guys are the best.
However, the other stuff, we don't know much about.
Well, we do know that one team at Respawn is being led by Peter Hirschman, who is he was a VP of LucasArts, but he also co-created Medal of Honor. And it is a Star Wars first-person shooter. And that's what we know about that.
Would you play a Star Wars first-person shooter?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'll play Star Wars anything.
I'll check it out. Star Wars anything. I will say a first-person shooter is the least interesting to me of Star Wars genre.
I mean, it's probably not going to be like my absolute favorite Star Wars game ever.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you that just because I'm not an FPS guy.
Yeah.
But, you know, We got a lot of we have various Mandalorians and bounty hunters and scoundrels and people running around in the galaxy right now. And I think it will be based around one of them.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
They do have a tendency to want to stay within whatever the current time frame is of the media that they're making.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're done with the Rise of Skywalker for a little while. They're putting a little rest to that, and right now we're in that in between time between the original movies and the sequels.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do believe we might. I mean, look, if we don't get a Din Djarin game, or at least a game where you're running around with Din Djarin, that seems like a huge swing and miss to me.
Well, you know what? I don't predict that we get a Din game because we haven't been in a place where that's really what the Star Wars games have been. For instance, think of like the big Star Wars games. We had Star Wars Battlefront. We had Jedi Fallen Order. None of those, for instance, were gonna run around with Rey.
Right.
You're gonna play with Kylo.
No, but
you know.
But Battlefront 2, you definitely run around with Luke for a little while. You definitely hang out with original trilogy characters.
Right.
So I do think, and I think part of the problem, not part of the problem, but part of the reason for Cal not running into any of those people, other than of course Vader. So that's a pretty big one.
It is a big one. I think there are big appearances, but we're talking about like what's current in Star Wars.
Yeah. So I think right now you would be a character that like in this first person shooter, I could see you running into Daimyo Boba Fett. I could see you running into Din Djarin on a mission.
Agreed.
I don't think it's going to be like Mandalorian the game.
Exactly.
But
yeah. I would not be mad at getting back to a point where they make like movie and TV show games in that kind of setting. Like you think about it where like all of the shows of like the late 90s and early 2000s had like a PlayStation game.
Yo, you want to give me a Han Solo first person shooter? I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's very interesting that they don't give us those where you're like, you know, playing as the lead of the movie or show anymore. And that's not just the case for Star Wars. That's just not the current
yeah, licensed games don't really. It's not the meta.
It's not really the meta.
It's not the meta. It's not the meta.
A Bad Batch game? Yeah, absolutely. That'd be
oh
awesome.
my
That'd
god.
be so good.
And here's the thing. I feel like with the animated stuff, they feel like they have a little bit more freedom, a little bit more wiggle room. I could see like a Clone Wars era game where you play as, I mean, maybe not Ahsoka right now, because Lord knows Ahsoka's got a lot on her plate. But I could see you playing, God, if I could just play as Rex, fuck. Yeah. Take Star Wars Republic Commando and just update it. Don't remake it. Don't give me a sequel. But give me something that feels like Republic Commando, but with modern tech. Oh my God. Like a Republic Commando game in the age where we have games that can look and play like Anthem. Don't make an Anthem, but I'm saying the jetpacking around an Anthem.
Yeah.
Attached. You know what I mean?
I do.
You know what I mean?
I do. I know what you mean.
You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like Bounty Hunter. Like the Bounty Hunter games I think are a bit underrated.
Yeah.
I think they were very good games. I think they came at a weird time in LucasArts' skills with 3D development.
That makes sense.
And a weird time for 3D consoles. But I think, man, something along the lines of Bounty Hunter. Whew. You remember when they were going to make 1313?
Yes,
the Underworld,
I think about it all the time.
The Underworld Boba Fett game?
Yes. I'm always thinking about it.
Yeah.
Literally always thinking about 1313.
I mean, imagine if it was like sort of a first-person reimagined modern take on what 1313 was going to be.
Every time a Star Wars game gets announced, I go, what if?
What if?
What if?
What if?
What if this is the time?
Yeah, F's in chat. F's in chat for Star Wars 1313. A
real bummer, that one.
One of the first things when I started doing when I was doing the Star Wars show, one of the first things that I saw in my boss's office that made me go like, oh, it's the right kind of nerd making this Star Wars show. He had one of the pre-release posters for 1313, the ones that were like at E3 that year, the teaser posters that like don't exist anymore.
Right.
And like he had it up on the wall, and I was like, whoa. He was also a big Boba Fett guy, which at the time was a little bit of a red flag.
Understandable. I mean, hey, maybe he was really into the EU. Boba Fett had plenty of storyline in the extended universe. If you were just like, I really liked the 8 seconds of Boba Fett standing and then dying.
No, Boba Fett,
Sure.
obviously, everybody who is a huge Boba Fett fan is like a Legends canon person, is like a
Right.
Dark Horse Comics person.
Yeah.
I just still was not. I just think,
I do understand that. That's perfectly fair.
I think especially pre Dave Filoni and pre like end of Clone Wars Rebels as a series, you know, the whole like pre Vizsla fight for Mandalore, that sort of.
Yes.
Before all that, like a huge Boba Fett fan was a little bit of a red flag.
I can definitely get behind that. I can definitely agree with that. That's perfectly fair.
Brian McBrien 13 in the live studio audience says that I'm more of a Watto guy, and that's true. I am. I'm more of a Watto guy.
That's perfectly fair.
Honestly,
I'm not going to give any thoughts on currently my feelings about Boba Fett, but we will do that later today on another show.
That's right. Go follow Kind of Funny. We're part of their Boba Fett in review.
And go say nice things about us and the comments, and also about don't mention my hair today because it's going to be like this still.
A fun UI thing about Windows
What's up?
is the little battery icon that tells you should plug in your computer
Yeah.
looks like an icon for a computer that's plugged in.
Yeah, it does.
One
Not
moment.
charging.
One moment while I check these.
Yeah,
while I check these
go watch that
connections.
later and tell them it's too early sent you. Yeah, plug that in. I love to see it. Saige, your hair looks great. Straight out of bed look. Well, thank you. It's the little alfalfa bit that keeps popping up for me. I was into Boba Fett because I loved the actor, was previously a soap opera star, and was amazing in Once Were Warriors. That's a very, very niche reason to be into Boba Fett, and a very acceptable one.
More rules.
So many things are being pulled off the desk. Mouse cable.
Yeah, Tomorrow rules. He's great.
That's so funny. I actually didn't know that. It'll probably be fine, but hey, we have more new game news. This one is less exciting. In the middle of all of this, y'all are going fucking wild on that Donegal right now, and absolutely, we'll get to that at the end of the show. But
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? It's a well-animated bar.
You're right. That's what it is. Thank y'all so much. In the middle of all of this, Blizzard announces a new survival game in an all-new universe. Maybe one you'll forget is associated with problems.
Yeah, exactly. It's from a universe. It's from Earth 2, where Blizzard is a good company that takes care of its employees.
Blizzard is embarking on our next quest. It's not safety for our employees. We're going on a journey to a whole new universe where women aren't quitting en masse due to the unsafe work conditions here. Home to a brand new survival game. Our offices are kind of like a survival game for PC and console. A place full of heroes we have yet to meet, stories yet to be told, and adventures yet to be lived. A vast realm of possibility. Possibility of no crunch and care for our employees? Not that much. Waiting to be explored.
There are no unions in the post-apocalypse. It's interesting that Blizzard is making a persistent survival crafting game now.
What happening here?
There's no way. I mean, look. Number one, way to catch that wave just as it's cresting, Blizzard. The survival crafting game.
Yeah, right?
Way to go, Blizzard.
They were busy, Anthony.
With what?
Abusing their employees.
Oh.
They were all busy doing their little cubicle crawl, and they forgot to make the game on time.
Hey, I would, if I was Blizzard, number one, I would have me arrested immediately.
Right.
Number two, I simply would not announce a new IP right now.
Yeah.
I would simply be quiet about whatever it is we're working on for the foreseeable future.
Associated with Microsoft instead of us. Yep.
Do you think it's Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard now?
Macrovision Blizzard.
Rolls right off the tongue.
For 30 years, Blizzard has been creating universes of millions of players around the globe and creating hostile work environments. This requires a diverse team of developers, that means men, willing to lend their voices to listen and be heard. Again, that means men. That is our mission.
What if they call it Microsoft Activision Blizzard Alliance and then it's MABA?
MABA?
Yeah. MABA, and they wear red hats. Hey, Blizzard, what I'm saying is just say what you are. Now, at the same time, they announced this magical, fun fantasy world of kids building things together and everybody working cooperatively. They also did say nah to the Raven Union. They just said nah to it. They refused to voluntarily recognize Raven Software's union. And this is why I simply, if I was Blizzard or Activision, I simply would not announce games right now.
Maybe they should just be called Microaggression Blizzard.
Microaggression. We simplified.
Microsoft Activision Blizzard is now just microaggression.
Yeah. We simplified it. Listen, if you aren't familiar with this, Raven Software, their quality assurance, their QA employees have been having regular walkouts. They have been treated horribly. And they created the union called the Game Workers Alliance. You can follow them on Twitter. You can follow everything that's going on with them.
A better Activision Blizzard.
Yep, that's they're two different organizations. A better Activision Blizzard is the overall like working for everyone. Raven Software created the Game Workers Alliance Union, which will of course be part of and associated with. But they asked Activision Blizzard for recognition by January 25th. Now they only went back. They've been going into work. They've been doing their thing. But they said, hey, we'll come back to work, but you have to acknowledge this by the 25th. And they said simply, no.
We're good.
They said simply no. They waited. Number one, they waited for hours after the deadline. They pulled a classic corporate power, like union busting move, where they waited until after the deadline, waited for hours, and then said no. At Activision Blizzard, we deeply respect the rights of all employees to make their decisions about whether or not to join a union, except for the fact that we were sending around union-busting emails. Except for the fact that we were sending around emails saying, hey, what if you better consider what happens if you join a union? Our veiled threats. We carefully reviewed and considered the CWA initial request last week and tried to find a mutually acceptable solution. Unfortunately, the parties could not reach an agreement. They said, pay us and treat us like humans. And we said, we simply cannot see any way to do that. There must be some common ground where you admit that you are subhuman. No?
No? Okay, well then no deal.
We expect that the union will be moving forward with a filing of a petition for an election. If filed, the company will respond formally to that petition promptly. The most important thing to the company is that each eligible employee has the opportunity to have their voice heard and their individual vote counted, and we think all employees at Raven should have a say in this decision. Hey, Uncle Phil, you willingly bought into this.
Yes, you did.
And now you have to go on record about this.
Now, I'd like to remind you all something we spoke about on Monday of Phil Spencer of Microsoft going, well, I don't know anything about unions.
I've always worked for Microsoft, which is a beautiful golden palace of perfect treatment.
It's real nice here. I've never even had to think about a union. I guess it's time to start thinking about unions, Phil Spencer.
I feel weird about you doing a breathy voice about union busting. I feel it's a weird feeling, and I don't know. I don't know if I like.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, it was icky to me,
Yeah,
and it was
exactly,
weird, and
right?
I just don't.
Yeah,
There are
that's
a lot
how
of-
icky it should feel.
There were a lot of layers to it that I
Thank
didn't
you.
like.
I appreciate that.
So Uncle Phil, we expect to hear your statement any moment now, because you
Yeah.
have to weigh in on all this stuff now.
That's so true. Yeah, you're the guy who weighs in. You're the one who's always taking an interview and posting on Twitter about all your thoughts. So tell us your thoughts on the union.
Remember when you said that you were appalled? Remember when you said that Activision Blizzard simply could not act the way they're acting?
What are you gonna do about it?
Come on out. Come on out, Phil. Put your best blazer on over your nicest t-shirt. It's time to make a formal statement. Moving on to other very big game news that don't involve the garbage people.
Yay!
Moving along from the garbage people.
Let's keep going.
Let's talk about Annapurna.
Ooh, okay.
Let's have a little Annapurna interactive.
I would love to talk about an Annapurna game.
Now, Annapurna has been doing incredible stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible things.
Yes.
I always say that Annapurna is for games what A24 is to film.
Mm-hmm.
They do wild stuff. They've got Nathan Vella over there now, heading up portfolio. He used to run Capybara Games. He used to be the studio head there. A real beautiful, creative, wonderful place. And you actually put this in.
I'm so excited about it. This is a game that was featured in the Annapurna Showcase last summer. It's called A Memoir Blue. It's a game that's going to make me cry so hard. And I love a game that can make me cry that hard. Let's see if this works. No. Oh.
No? Maybe?
No.
Some? No?
None.
All right.
Not for my
Throw it up over here.
Okay. Oh, God. That was very loud.
I don't know. It's also like weirdly. It's weirdly weird.
There we go. I got it. Fixed it.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah.
We'll do like a near.
This is this is about a person just like traveling through their childhood, reflecting on their complicated relationship with their mother.
But through like the importance of water and swimming. So like everything has like it's man.
I think that's picking up on the mic a lot. That's very loud coming out of your speakers.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah, this just looked so interesting to me. I fucking love a sad vignette game, and that's exactly what this is. I, as a person who will very much cry at any mention of I'm gonna deal with childhood trauma, am going to stream this, and I'm going to just fucking sob on the internet.
I love stuff like this. I love the mixing of styles that's going on.
It's a combination of 2D and 3D throughout the game.
Yeah, it's good. Like it seems like the memories are mostly 2D and like the younger she gets, the more cartoony and stuff.
It's so clever and so cool.
She also has some sort of like horrifying relationship with water and the ocean, which I know also speaks to you deeply.
I have mommy issues and a fear of the ocean. Let's go, A Memoir Blue.
This is a game for me. This is Cloisters Interactive, and they call it an interactive poem that unfolds through a series of vignettes about this woman's life.
I'm just very excited about this, and I think that's why we like kind of simp for Annapurna so much, is that like Annapurna is a publisher that picks up these indie games that you'll never see from these larger studios. Which I love so much. These little stories that people don't associate with games as a whole are so fucking special and so cool.
They've really carved out a niche for themselves in like when Annapurna kind of kicked off their games division, because they also have a films division. When they kicked off their games division, they really were like the big sort of AA and indie publishers were your sort of like Devolvers and publishers like that, where it's like wacky, over the top, kind of like crazy indie games, and like that's great. But I love that Annapurna kind of came in and was like, okay, but we want to take all of these things that are like part of the IGF awards every year, or you know, really popular on itch.io, like these little seeds of ideas that are really interesting.
Yeah.
And like maybe like a little more thoughtful, and a little more like you could quote unquote artsy it, you know, if you wanted to really distill it down. But I think there needs to be a publisher that gives resources and things, resources and time and marketing to games like this. And I'm glad that they're doing it.
I am too. How lovely. Stepping out of indie games and heading back to something a little bit bigger. Dead by Daylight got a new spooky collab.
Oh, a new spook.
Yeah, so Dead by Daylight is doing a Saw crossover, of course, starring the one and only
Chris Rock. Oh, Jigsaw.
Chris Rock Jigsaw now?
No, Chris Rock was in the new one.
Yeah, is he now Jigsaw?
Oh, I don't know. Nobody saw the new one.
Oh, no one Jigsaw it?
I'd like to say that I've seen it.
I'm so sorry.
But I shan't. Because that would be a lie.
So, of course.
That would be a fib saw.
Y'all have seen a million Dead by Daylight. I'm good. I'm very happy that Dead by Daylight just keeps updating the game. I'll never have enough of it. I love to see a new killer. I love to get on and play it once. It's my favorite thing.
Our resident Dead by Daylight expert and mod Ronan Monkey says they have a cute little jigsaw charm in the new tome. He rides a little bike. Jigsaw's on a little bicycle.
That's very, very cute. This actually went live today on all platforms you can play Dead by Daylight on. It's very, very interesting. Is there a tricycle? Hey, Ronan? You ride a little tricycle? Just imagine the killer coming after you.
Ronan says yes.
Tiny tricycle. Do you really? No.
Jigsaw,
it actually moves. Fuck yeah.
But here's the thing about Jigsaw.
Like a thing on a map.
Jigsaw as like the killer that stalks you is a weird thing because Jigsaw doesn't do that.
Correct.
Jigsaw's whole thing is
traps.
I set you up
yeah.
to do the horrible things, which doesn't really work in Dead by Daylight.
No. I think it's going to be primarily about maps and things like that.
Billy is the puppet, not Jigsaw.
Jigsaw is the person behind the puppet.
He's the man. He's
monster.
Oh, he's from the Jigsaw region of France.
Yeah. Billy is Jigsaw's monster.
Hey. We're so glad. We're so glad
when
that
I was talking about the charm, were you asking about the killer? I was joking. I was completely joking, Ronan. Yeah.
I just want, can I be Carrie Elwes? And if there is a Carrie Elwes, can I get a Princess Bride skin? Or can I just skin Carrie Elwes? How does this game work?
Amanda is the killer, pig, no bike for her. Yeah. Okay. Well, only party hats. Well, it's a pretty fair constellation prize for no tricycle.
I'll tell you what. We talk about this game a lot, and one day I'll play it.
Have you never played it?
I think I played it in like very early on in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah. Every time there's a new killer released, I usually get on silently and play one time.
Just to see.
And I have a great time. I do. And then I never go back. There's no reason for that. They're all great. K-pop killer? Slap.
Go get your saw. Go get your saw today. You're Billy, you're Amanda.
There was already a pig person. I do know that already existed in the game.
Go play the grim adventures of Billy and Mandy.
That's what we're saying.
For the GBA. Hey.
What's up?
Did you know that Crysis 4 is coming?
No.
Now you do.
Yeah.
Crysis 4. You know, here's my thing about Crysis. I mostly relate to Crysis as a meme and a system benchmark.
I mostly relate to Crysis as a meme and something I'm currently experiencing.
So I don't really know. I don't remember much about the Crysis games. I remember a compound bow. I remember cool armor. I remember jungle. I remember the second one was wild. There were like dinosaurs or something. I don't know. Like, it's all a mishmash. It's a hodgepodge. But Crysis 4 is coming.
Okay.
There was a leak on Chinese social media. And because of that, Crytek had to release this teaser. It's Jigsaw. So This is going to be nothing more than a big flying logo, I'd imagine.
Yeah. The first teaser usually is.
Imagine, if you will, particles, polygons, hexagons, video games. 4 video games in one. Crysis.
Unbelievable. Join the journey. Become the hero. All right. I'm down.
Crytek CEO
logo.
Anvi Yurley says that the 4th Crysis game is in early stages of development, and it will be quite a while yet. He said, "We wanted to bring you the news at this time as we are so hyped for the future and to let you know that we were listening to our community." And then muttered under his breath, "And because you motherfuckers leaked it."
Yes, we literally had to.
We literally had to.
We didn't have a choice. Y'all, how do you feel about very early announcements?
And I mean, here's the thing. It's an early announcement, but I think maybe an early announcement was the way to go.
Yeah.
It's been
Just
9...
to remind people Crysis exists?
Yeah, it's been 9 years since Crysis 3. We did get the remastered trilogy recently on new consoles and on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
And so Crysis continues to be a benchmark and a meme, which we can all ask. Can it run Crysis?
Right.
We can all continue to ask. Is the cake a lie and can it run Crysis? We all want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Middle-aged internet wants to know.
Everyone forgets about Crysis. It's been replaced by Doom. People want to know if something can run Doom.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, I don't know. I'm open to a new Crysis, but as you can tell, I have no feelings one way or the other about Crysis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that it's coming, but here's the thing that you may wonder. Are we going to be able to play it on anything? And not just because of the joke, but because where are all the next-gen consoles and components? Where are they? Where are they? Well, I'll tell you what. GameStop promises that they're going to have some PS5s tomorrow.
They said for realsies.
They said for really real.
We have PlayStations.
No fooling. We've got PlayStation 5s.
Now, this is specifically for their Power Up Rewards Pro members. You're going to get a little, like, secret access, supposedly, which actually might make this a little more attainable. Something that limits the amount of people with access to it, makes it so potentially a scalper doesn't swoop in and buy all of them. I mean, or bots, rather.
Yeah.
A scalper could do it, but bots not as easily.
But, like, if I wasn't going to they know that they're using this to sell Power-Up rewards.
Absolutely.
They're using it to sell Power-Up rewards.
But do you think it'll have any effect on preventing bots?
Well, it's hard to bot in-person sales. You know, it's hard to bot going into the store and buying one.
Are these not available online? Is this exclusively in store?
They're only available in stores.
Interesting.
So you go in, you become a Power-Up Rewards member. They're basically charging you $15 for the chance to have one. And here's the deal. If there's a big crowd of people waiting, and you're not already a Power-Up Rewards member, they'll be happy to sign you up, but they're going to sell them to all the current Power-Up Rewards members. So they're probably telling you, hey, sign up now, become a Power-Up Rewards member today.
Yeah.
So tomorrow you might be able to get a PS5.
Which sure feels like a pay-to-play lottery.
It definitely feels like they're doing a paid raffle for PS5s.
Which is illegal.
It's really tricky.
This obviously, I'm sure, is loophole legal, of course. But paid lottery is illegal, you know? So, paid raffles, not a thing you're supposed to be able to do. So yeah, it's $15 a year.
I mean, a lot of people are saying if I needed a PS5 or if I wanted a PS5, I'd probably do it.
Yeah, same.
You know, for the $15, if you're gonna buy anything, what do people buy from GameStop? Funko Pops? If you're gonna buy a Funko Pop, maybe you get a discount on Funko Pops when I don't know.
You know, the only time I've been to GameStop in the last 2 years was to buy Steam gift cards. I'm serious. It's really hard. You can't buy a Steam gift card on the Steam site.
Yeah.
Unless you're friends with that person. You have to send it directly to their account.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Steam does not make it easy to gift things to people because I guess they had a lot of fraud because of that. But
so I had to go into GameStop just to buy Steam gift cards this Christmas.
the last thing I bought at a GameStop was my Switch. I went to everybody. It was like the week that Switches came out, and everybody's like, "You'll never be able to find one anywhere." I was like, "I bet I will." And I just went to 2 GameStops, and one of them was just like, "Yeah, we've got it," because I wanted Breath of the Wild, baby. I wanted that Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, the last time I was in there, I was just like, "Oh, it's just Funko Pops."
Yeah.
All of these pop culture like niche geek stores are like just Funko Pops now. It's like 40 to 60% Funko Pops, and then like some other stuff.
Because people don't really need physical games anymore.
Do you remember when we went to I forget what we went to a Hot Topic for, but you remember we were physically in a Hot Topic, and it was just I don't remember, but it was like nothing but Funko Pops. We were like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is a lot of Funko Pops.
It's a lot of Funko Pops. There's going to be a merging point between GameStop, Box Lunch, and Hot Topic, where they all have the exact same inventory. They're going to be like Ross and TJ Maxx and Marshalls.
Yeah, Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. I feel like Box Lunch was supposed to be like Hot Topic for the, hey, turn your music down kids, you know? They were owned by the same company, so it was like, I no longer want a t-shirt with a Marvel character on it, thank you. I want a nice button-up shirt with a Marvel character on it. That's where I am in my life.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say, I still buy things from Hot Topic.
I mostly buy stuff from Box Lunch because I like the nice button-ups.
See, and I buy stuff from Hot Topic every once in a while because sometimes they get a cute little dress.
Yeah.
They were selling a bunch of Birds of Prey. They did a big Birds of Prey collection. They had her overalls. I couldn't get them in time. The gold overalls.
I remember.
I tried so hard.
I remember.
Tried so hard.
I got so far. But in the end, doesn't even matter. Thank you, Hot Topic. So yeah, if you're a GameStop Power Up Rewards member, or if you don't mind paying the $15, you might be able to roll into a store and get a PS5 tomorrow. And I will say, even though there is a silicon shortage, even though there are supply chain problems, the PS5 has been the fastest selling console ever for Sony, topping 10 million sales in about 8 months. Beginning in April 2022, which is the new fiscal year, fuck you to everybody who celebrates the new fiscal year. They are hoping that they're going to sell or ship more than 22.6 million PS5s, which will make it the highest selling console of all time, beating the original PlayStation.
Now, that is very interesting. Flannel Fries has the question that's on all of our minds, but how many of those are resellers? Obviously, we won't have that data, but I do think that a huge portion of that is resellers, because the amount of people that have actually gotten their hands on a PlayStation directly from a retailer.
Listen, this is the thing about the fiscal year solstice celebration, is a sale, and they'll actually chant that.
Yeah.
They'll chant that at the fiscal year solstice. They'll say a sale is a sale. A sale is a sale. They don't care if it's going to scalpers. Because you know what? Here's the thing. The scalpers are turning around and selling them, so I guess it's still technically a sale. Yeah. Those PS5s are going into someone's hands.
They are. Twice the price.
Hey, could we just get out of this whole global situation?
Yes.
That'd be great.
I would love that. Let's just go, Anthony.
Let's just get out of this whole, could we? Thank you.
Yeah, I think I would like that very much, and I think that we should. I do want to talk about something. Do you want to do this last?
Sure.
Okay. We'll just keep talking about games for the moment. Let's talk about some fan games. We got a couple of those. Hey. Let's play a game of how long until Nintendo comes in? How long until Nintendo comes in? A 90% complete fan-made PC port of Zelda Ocarina of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time should be done by April.
Now,
I don't like this article. I don't like this headline.
Now, when we say, wait, you don't like the headline?
I don't like the headline.
Why?
Because it feels like they just said the Ocarina of Time PC port is 2 weeks out from retirement. They looked at Nintendo and they said, yeah, I can't wait to just spend all that time with my grandkids. I'm about 2 weeks out from retirement. One last job.
Nah, because here's the thing. Here's what's I understand your concern, and your concerns are well warranted. You can't even have a game where you shoot Pokemon with a shotgun anymore without Nintendo coming after you. But this will be done in the same way as the Mario 64 port. So here's legally what Nintendo can and will do, and here's what you need to know about this port if it does happen. This is the result of the Ocarina of Time decompilation project.
Yep.
They have reverse engineered the engine. They've looked at it. They've looked at it with tools, and they have figured out a way to decompile and recompile the game for PC, much like the Mario 64 port.
Right, which is a great port.
It's an amazing port, and Nintendo, you're lazy as hell. So the deal is, if you already own your own Ocarina of Time ROM, you are allowed to use that legally sourced ROM along with a compilation program that they will provide you that will recompile your ROM to run on the PC. So they do not distribute any copies of Ocarina of Time. They simply give you code that lets you convert it. And these Mario 64 projects have been around for a while, and they are amazing.
I know. It just feels like a challenge. It just feels like a challenge to Nintendo.
I'm sure that their legal team is working on whatever the new precedent they can set is. But all you need to know for right now is if you grab your legally sourced copy of the ROM, which you dumped yourself, you could be playing this game on the PC in April. And I'll tell you what, we played a lot of that Mario 64 PC port.
Yeah, we did.
Because I've bought Mario 64 on so many platforms at this point. Don't you worry, Nintendo. You got your money for Mario 64. It was beautiful. Runs at 60 frames a second. Has unlimited draw distance.
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Fantastic.
There's a ray tracing add-on for it. You can put in a set of models that looks like the high-resolution renders from all the advertising in 1996. It has that very 90s internet Mario look to it.
We got upset enough on the little volcano map that we had to leave and walk away and come back a few times.
It's true. It's true. And that's always been true historically.
Yeah.
Whenever I watch somebody, you get so desensitized to speedruns, and then I see somebody play a level that I've played before in a game that I've played a lot, and I remember how hard speedruns are.
Yeah.
When I see somebody playing that lava level and they just do that like 2 long jumps across it.
Yep.
And like speedrunners can do the thing where they do the 2 long jumps into the boss bully who falls into the lava and they're like, done, star. I'm just like, okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah. It took 2 of us passing back and forth the controller like an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell
ice cream breaks.
I'll tell you this. I do also think that you got to really calibrate an Xbox controller to feel right with an N64 game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, if you're looking for a good time and you've got that legal Mario 64 ROM, look up the Mario 64 PC port project and build yourself that little ROM. It's fun. You can run it on Android. You can run it on PC. Anyway, that's cool. Another remake is happening, Saige.
Yes.
And this one is equally fascinating to me.
A Resident Evil 4 fan-made HD remaster is releasing next month.
The developer has been working on this for 8 years.
That's a lot of years.
It's a lot of years. Now, here's the trick. We know from leaks that Capcom is working on their own HD remaster. And this is after the remaster that they already did a little while ago.
There was the soft remaster, there's the VR,
Yeah. Resident Evil 4 is some well-trod ground. There's actually a great Stop Skeletons from Fighting video. I don't know if you've ever watched Stop Skeletons from Fighting. It's a great YouTube channel that goes into a lot of like classic games, and he talks about ports. And he goes into every single port of Resident Evil 4 that ever existed, including like the Nokia N-Gage and like Java-enabled phones. It's wild. This gentleman has been working on his remaster for 8 years. And the way he's been doing it, it's 2 people. The way they've been working on it is Capcom, the team at Capcom that was working on RE4, went to various locations in Spain and took the actual photos for their textures. And so these guys made it their mission to travel together and grab these textures from the actual source and use them for their HD remaster. I love that. They turned it into like a quest.
Yeah.
They turned it into a thing. What a lovely way to do it.
I do think that is a very, very sweet way to do it. And also, you know, hey, if you're going to spend 8 years on something, I'm glad you haven't just been like sitting in front of your computer for it. I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I am curious to see what happens with the, like, if there is any issue with Capcom, as we run into a lot with these. I hope that there isn't. After 8 years and traveling the world to get these photos, I just hope that Capcom says, not our problem. We're doing our own. Don't worry about it. You know?
Yeah.
But it's always worse when they are doing their own.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I want to make sure that it's like, I want to be sure that it's not like we don't get Silent Hilled. You know what I mean?
We don't want to get Silent Hilled.
The last thing you want is to get Silent Hilled. But I do want to take a look at their release trailer.
All right.
Okay. That's just a
photo.
That's just a photo of the. Here we go. There we go. All right. Now
is RE4 the multiplayer one? No.
I mean, that looks pretty good.
Yeah. That looks pretty good. This classic masterpiece.
Did you see the new movie?
No.
That movie came and went in like 2 weeks.
When did that happen?
Right? This looks really good.
This is a really good port.
It's interesting. There's some stuff going on with the textures that, you know, I don't think. There are certain ways that textures interact with things, or textures wrap around things that kind of like, that kind of let you go, like point at something and go, oh, I think this is fan made, or this is somebody who's new to development. And I've seen a couple of those, but like, this is mostly like really good looking.
Yeah, I think it's very impressive. How interesting.
I love it.
So I've never played all the way through 4. I've played the tiniest bit of 4. Before it was like slightly before my time.
Yeah, 4 is great. 4 is a big deal. 4 really changed. I mean, Resident Evil changed horror.
Yeah, absolutely.
Resident Evil changed the idea of horror in horror video games, but then Resident Evil 4 changed it up again. I thought it was so good.
Yeah,
I really loved it, and I was not a huge Resident Evil fan at the time. It holds up.
I've heard that.
You can still play it.
We talked about it when they started doing the 2 and 3 remakes of like, okay, well, 4 is where we get to that edge where 4 is still playable when 2 and 3 were not. So do they remake 4? And like, naturally, given the success of it, of course they are. But yeah, Resident Evil 4 came out in 2005. It's not what I was playing on my GameCube in 2005. I was 9.
You could buy a special edition with a chainsaw controller.
That's great.
It didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like you could move it like a chainsaw.
Right, no motion controls.
It had the GameCube controls on the body of a chainsaw.
Yeah.
It actually made everything harder.
Cloud Doctor said 7's the only one I ever played and I loved it. 7 is my personal favorite Resident Evil game.
And that's another reinvention.
Yeah.
That also completely changes what Resident Evil is.
But if you loved 7, it's a little bit of a tough adjustment because I started on 7 as well. And then I was like, oh, I fucking love Resident Evil. And then I played 2 and I was like, oh, this is what Resident Evil actually is. And 7 is a huge like left turn from that.
It's wild. I mean, one day it's on my list of like franchises that I want to replay through.
Yeah.
Where I just want to like, because you can really chart the growth and change of video games through it.
Let's do it. Let's pass and play.
Let's pass and play all the Resident Evils, starting with the ones for the N-Gage.
Do it.
In other big remake news, this is so huge.
Oh my goodness, you're so right. I can't believe we didn't open with this.
I can't believe everybody. Don't worry. Don't worry, everyone. It's happening. Oh, shit.
Oh, good.
Here it comes. You know what's coming.
Yeah, I reckon.
Cow the Kangaroo. That's right, everybody. Cow the Kangaroo is back. Your favorite mascot, your favorite platformer. This is the one that we've all been waiting for. We've all said, when's it happening?
It does look like a kangaroo just running around on Spyro maps, in my opinion.
So did the original.
You know what I mean? Like a combination of Crash Bandicoot, of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro maps.
Cow the Kangaroo came out on the Dreamcast and had a GBA version, and this was just when this was in the real Crash days, when Crash and Spyro days, when everything was a mascot. Everything was a 3D mascot platformer.
It looks exactly like a combination of Spyro and Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, it exactly is.
Identical in the maps.
And don't worry, that little crab is back too.
Oh, good, the little crab.
I'm
not mad at this. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like such a cynic about it. Where I'm like, oh, good little crab. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm not mad. I'm just surprised.
No, it's very interesting. I just don't. Here's the thing. It looks like a mid-budget title. And the trick with that is they are counting on the retro nostalgia clout of Cow the Kangaroo to boost sales.
Does it have a lot of retro nostalgia clout?
Based on our chat, no.
Hey, anybody in the chat, anybody in the YouTube comments later, does it have retro nostalgia clout for you?
Are you into it?
Like, honestly.
Are you waiting for a new tack in the spirit of Juju?
We've got a lot of never heard of it.
I can't believe I can't believe we're getting this before we get a new Mark of Cree.
First I've ever seen of it, never heard of it. No. We haven't gotten a single yes, and we've gotten a lot of never heard of this.
Yep, look. It's interesting. So I think they have to play this like a new game with a little bit of recognition. And hopefully they market it that way. And hopefully they didn't pay too much for those rights.
Yeah.
Fascinating. But you want to talk, so this brings up a question that I had for you before the show.
Okay.
I asked you whether something had clout.
You did.
Because a big remake, a big TV show based on a property is coming out. And I was like, all right, I've never had a good hold on whether this particular property is popular and has really a strong fandom.
Yeah, is it a big deal or not?
I can't tell whether it's a big deal or whether there's just a small sliver of the internet that really stands it. So here's the news. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, new series, Disney+.
So I answered that yes, Percy Jackson is a big deal. For my generation, Percy Jackson is a huge deal. I missed out on Percy Jackson as a kid. I never read the books, and I've never seen the movie still.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, though, that I know that all of my friends that are my age love Percy Jackson and remember it so fondly, and it was a big deal for their childhood, and are very excited about this.
So I was old for it, but I had friends that were still like reading Harry Potter and stuff because it was a big deal. But I do remember thinking at the time that this was one of those things like every young adult, like Harry Potter was the beginning of a YA explosion, particularly a YA series explosion. And so I didn't know if Percy Jackson was one of the big ones or if it was just one of the ones they were trying to make happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know if it had the staying power, but it turns out people have really been waiting. And a lot of people in the live studio audience are bringing up things that I've heard about it.
Yeah.
C. Dandino in the live studio audience is saying it's big news. It's what Harry Potter could have been. It has major inclusivity. They only made the first two into movies and they both flopped. Yeah, it didn't. They didn't do super well, those first two movies. I mean, but I think they flopped on the scale of like a Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like I think they didn't make $1 bazillion, which is what a movie like that needs to make. I don't think they failed.
Right. I think a lot of people my age put this in the same category as Harry Potter. before all of the transphobia.
I put all my eggs into that Lemony Snicket basket, and I do not regret it.
Same.
I do not regret it.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah.
It's because we both put all our eggs in the Lemony Snicket basket.
Hey, I like wordplay and jokes about sadness.
Same.
You know?
Yeah.
Wordplay, jokes about sadness, and genuine wondering why other people can't just be nice and do the right thing.
Exactly. I love a tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, hey, the Netflix series. Oh, the Netflix series absolutely owned. The fact that there isn't more of it, criminal.
I mean, they talked about doing something about the VFD, but they finished up the books.
I know. I just want more so bad because the series was so good, and aesthetically, damn, did that series hit.
It was so good.
God, it was so good. Visually, like I could just stare at that universe all day.
It looked very expensive, which I think is why they didn't continue.
I know.
I even enjoyed the Jim Carrey one.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I loved it as a kid.
They tried to cram a lot into one movie, but I thought it was very good. Did I tell you that at my old office at Lucasfilm on the way to work every day I could walk by the Count Olaf's house from the Jim Carrey version every day, and it was the miniature version of Count Olaf's house, but it was, it was like 10 feet. It was amazing, and you could just like eat lunch and look at Count Olaf's if you wanted to. It's at the Academy Museum now.
Hardliner said someday I need to watch the Harry Potter movies or read the books. No, you don't.
No,
you don't.
No, we're beyond that now. You can watch a Bria's show on Dimension 20 if you want.
If you want magical kids.
So this is happening. Rick Riordan, who is the original author, is going to be writing the pilot. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be produced by James Bobbin, who recently made Disney Plus's The Mysterious Benedict Society, which, if you were sad when Lemony Snicket ended on Netflix and you're looking for something with a similar vibe, it's a little lighter. The Mysterious Benedict Society is very good. Mm-hmm. Genius kids who solve mysteries.
I'm into that.
Yeah. So it's all happening. 20th Television is making it. It looks like it's gonna be a real deal.
Are y'all excited?
I mean, the first two movies, it said the two films got mixed reviews from critics, but grossed over $425 million combined worldwide. That's not Harry Potter numbers.
But it's a big number.
And it also, in 2010 and 2013, box office wasn't as huge per movie as it is now. I don't know, man. I think this could be good. I'm a big fan of Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Which is why I was always a little interested.
Right. This is your chance.
This is my chance, baby.
This is your chance. Speaking of things coming through nostalgia, they are doing, of course, a live action Snow White film. Disney is on a quest to make a live action variation of every one of their classic animated films, and none are safe.
How do we suck all the magic out of everything? How do we add an additional 20 minutes to a movie that didn't need it?
Yeah.
Look, some of these remakes, some of them are good, some of them are all right. Some of them are like whatever, you know?
Yeah. Look, I'm trying to think of what was good. I think the best one was Cinderella.
Cinderella wasn't bad.
I think Cinderella wasn't bad. I think there were elements of the live action Aladdin that I had fun with, and I know a lot of people hated it, but like Aladdin is one of the greatest animated films ever made. So it can't compare, but like
Aladdin was
fun.
Aladdin was a tight 96 minutes animated, and it was a 2.5 hour live action, and that's a lot.
It had moments.
I think the cast was brilliant.
I agree. I think that the cast was really good, and also thank you for giving Jasmine a storyline finally.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Giving her a little something to do.
Just even like a tiny touch of it. But essentially, there's been a little bit of controversy surrounding the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs remake due to the fact that it's about 7 dwarves living in a cave. That's not super tight, and they're like,
here's the thing, dwarves. There's mythical creature dwarf, but then there's people who are dwarves. There's little people.
Yeah. So Peter Dinklage spoke out about it and was just like, I can't believe this is that you're going through. Like, I can't believe this is even getting made. What are you doing? Yeah, gave some pretty harsh criticism that was well deserved. Called him out for being like, hey, why of all the movies? And why would you still involve the Seven Dwarfs? I mean, that story is kind of intrinsically linked to it, I suppose. I vote personally that we go back to the grim fairy tale Snow White. We put her in a glass box. We do the whole thing.
But that was the Huntsman. That was Snow White and the Huntsman. They
That
did
was
that.
not
I mean, it
good.
kind of was, but they like, okay, so here's what Peter Dinklage said.
Mhm.
He was on Mark Maron's podcast, and he said, literally no offense to anyone, but I was taken a little aback when they were very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Take a step back and look at what you're doing there. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, but then you're still making that fucking backward story about seven dwarfs living in a cave together. What the fuck are you doing, man? Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough.
Which, like, fuck yeah, Peter Dinklage.
But also, man, Peter Dinklage, it's not all on you.
It's not, and it shouldn't be his responsibility. We just love Peter Dinklage in this house, naturally. So Disney has replied. There is an update on this, which is to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film. We are taking a different approach with these seven characters. They didn't say dwarves. And have been consulting with members of the dwarfism community. We look forward to sharing more as the film leads into production after a lengthy development period. So they didn't tell us what they're going to do. They just said, we're talking to people about it, and we are taking a different approach.
Do you think, how much money do you want to put on their different approach is? Their cool, progressive approach is these seven people were run out of society because they look different, but Snow White is going to learn that just because they look different doesn't mean they're not good people. And they're nothing to be afraid of.
But, like, that's...
Don't do that!
No, I don't think that's the case.
Please don't do it. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
Please don't do that. That's like bottom line. That's like bottom rung sensitivity. And I bet that was at least what they began with. And then all this happened and they're like, oh, is that, we should look at that again.
I know. I just don't see what adjustment they can actually make that is functional for this, because it's like, what? What do we just go, okay, well, we decided they're not dwarves then. They're just guys living in a cave
Snow
that
White
pick up this 13-year-old girl.
Snow White and the Seven Bros.
Right? Like, no, that's not helpful. That's not going to do anything. Please don't make it.
You know, one of the biggest things about Snow White as an animated film was that it pushed forward the entire medium of animation. It showed that animation could do things that nobody had ever thought about before. Technically and artistically, it pushed an entire medium forward. So remaking it, I mean, story-wise, it's one of the most simplistic by-the-book Disney movies. It's not about that. And I think if you're taking on remaking it, you're misunderstanding what is important about it.
Right.
Because what do you do with a live-action film? How are you going to push the medium forward in the same way that Walt Disney did with the original Snow White? That's the stake in the ground. I mean, that's why we don't remake The Wizard of Oz. You don't need to.
You don't need to. Right. It did. It made Disney. It was extremely influential. Naturally, it doesn't hold up. It holds up in many ways in the animation. But let's see. What year did Snow White release?
1939?
1937.
1937.
What movie from 1937 holds up? And I don't know how you rework this. I mean, it comes from a very, very dark, grim fairy tale. Like, the original fairy tale, actually horrifically dark. Like, I was joking about remaking that story, but, like, that story is horrific. And this is the soft version, and it's still kind of horrific.
This is the thing, is they used to do animated re-releases in theaters of their classic films. Like, I saw Snow White in the theater when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I saw Bambi too. I was a big animation nerd.
I wasn't allowed to watch Bambi as a kid. It was the only Disney movie I wasn't allowed to see.
Let me tell you something. That movie created vegetarianism in the United States, I think. But I think loving reproductions of these films put into the theater so kids can see them in theaters for the first time is a really wonderful way to do things. Of course, that becomes less impactful now that everything's on VOD. And I'll say this, it's the double-edged sword of like the Disney Plus thing. The Disney Plus restorations are gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the Disney Plus streaming technology is insane.
Yeah.
Disney Plus stuff looks so much better than other streaming services on my TV. That company, and they did it through buying a company that came up with the technology. So it's tough. It's a tough sell to put them, but they do sing-alongs now.
Yeah.
Where they put movies back in the theaters and they have like the lyrics underneath with the bouncing ball. I think that's cute. But I think, you know, I don't know. I don't think we touch them all, you know?
Yeah, I think that there are some things that maybe don't need it. I can agree with that.
Like, listen, we're worried about the Aristocats, but like the Aristocats, you know what else? You know what else they could do in live action, in the live action CG that I would fucking love?
What?
Great Mouse Detective.
Great Mouse Detective.
Holy shit.
I haven't seen the Great Mouse Detective since I was a child, so I'm like, as we're going through and we're talking about the things that could be problematic, I'm like, I don't want to speak to anything that I don't remember if there's anything problematic in.
I mean, there's a little bit of problematic. It's not great, but it's not as bad as a lot of the other ones. The Great Mouse Detective is mwah. Somebody says, give me an Atlantis live action. Yes, we've been saying that. Atlantis, Disney Plus series. Come on.
I would love Atlantis. I'm also in favor of Black Cauldron.
Oh, Black Cauldron. That's the thing, is if you're going to do one,
hit us with those niche films.
Hit us with the niche films that are also like high fantasy weird, right?
Hit us with the weird ones.
Oh man, The Rescuers. Oh god, The Rescuers would be great. Two little live action CG mice rescuing a little girl. Come on.
Hercules would be fun. I actually, as far as like the live action films,
that wouldn't be bad.
That wouldn't be bad. I am ready for the feelings that I would have about live action Megara.
I was about to say that. I'm glad that you said it first, though.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm ready for those feelings. I've been preparing my whole life.
Because now I can agree with it, and you're the creep.
Say I'm in
you know,
hey, Anthony,
yeah.
I'm the queer at the table. It's cute when I do
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Following today's theme of remakes and adaptations, big story / non-story that happened yesterday, The Rock.
This is such an interesting story because it's literally just, the story is the idea. The Rock says that he is working on a live action film adaptation of a video game. And that's like kind of all he gave us. He said, I can't tell you which game in particular we're doing, but there will be an announcement this year. We're going to bring one of the biggest, most badass games to the screen, one that I've played for years. I'm really excited to bring it to fans around the world. Of course, we're going to do right by our gamer friends, but really, we're just going to make a great movie.
This is what I think.
So Anthony's suggestion, one of many, was Balan Wonderworld.
But maybe
it's Ninja Breadman. Maybe it is.
The Rock is Ninja Breadman. Come on.
I could see it.
Come on.
The Rock as Conker of Conker's Bad Fur Day.
The Rock as Fling or Smash. I don't know. I'd never played Fling Smash. Is his name Fling Smash?
I don't think so.
Smashy? I don't know. The Rock in Toyota Yaris for the Xbox Live Arcade.
Yes.
Finally. Action Yaris racing.
Yes.
Right? Think about it. That's
pretty good. I will say Polygon had some suggestions of their own. They said Viva Pinata. They said Fortnite, Doom, or Mario.
Because Chris Pratt's animated Mario, but this is a multiverse.
Yeah.
We're creating a cinematic multiverse of people who are wrong to play the role playing the role.
Yeah.
We're creating a cinematic universe of Meatman playing Mario.
Yeah. Real meaty guys playing Mario that are not correct in any way.
Pills and Advice,
Mm.
who I don't know if you're watching right now, Pills and Advice, but is regularly here, said, Pal World. Calling it right now. It's Pal
Gonna
World.
go shoot Pokemon. The biggest, most badass games. I'm gonna go through our Discord as well. Sidster in the Discord said, I think Animal Crossing. But who do you think he is? Do you think he's Tom Nook?
He's Gulliver. He's
Yeah.
Gulliver. You got to help him find the 5 parts of his mobile phone. That's the whole movie.
I think that's great.
Kaylin Rohr said, obviously, I mean, look, The Rock as the king of all cosmos is actually very good.
Yeah, not bad.
The Rock as like the drunken, I woke up and destroyed the universe king of all cosmos who thinks he's the coolest.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out, so much of our chat is saying The Rock is Rossetti. The Rock as Rossetti would fucking slap. The fact that we don't have content like an animated series surrounding Animal Crossing, I think is honestly fucked.
There's a very weird Animal Crossing anime. Have you ever watched it? The animated film?
Not?
There are fan translations of it online. It's very weird and very good. Alex Padilla says The Rock is a choo-choo from a choo-choo rocket. Choo-choo rocket. It's right in the name.
Yeah,
The clues were there.
of course.
Mr. Policeman.
Yeah.
I gave you all the clues.
We have Pong, Wordle, Tetris, Minesweeper.
Which piece is The Rock? Which tetramino is he?
He is the this one, not the plus, the one that goes just up.
Oh, L or backwards L? Backwards L?
Upside down T.
Upside down T.
Upside down T.
He's the T block.
A lot of people did say the square. In the
If you
cube.
put the T right side up, it represents his shoulders and arms.
Yeah.
So wide.
Try not to be too on the nose.
So wide.
Puzzle Bobble, would he be Bub or Bob?
Yes.
Yes.
He's both.
He's both.
He's
I
a
do
CG
love
Bub
that.
and Bob.
Mega Man.
The Rock is a child robot.
Hear me out. Mega Man in the styling of the Speed Racer movie.
Oh, so good.
A thing made just for Anthony.
Mega Man, but he's got the voice from the old Captain N Nintendo cartoon series. So The Rock has to talk like this and say that everything is mega good. I can't wait to have some mega lunch with my mega friends.
The Rock and Pikmin as Olimar. That's a great choice.
Oh, Tom Biden connected the dots. The Rock is Cow the Kangaroo. That's why
That's
it's
why
coming.
they're remaking Cow the Kangaroo. That makes perfect sense. The Rock could totally play a kangaroo.
Do you remember that there was a Spy Hunter remake that came out, I think for the Xbox 360, that was supposed to be connected to a Spy Hunter movie starring The Rock? And something happened, the movie fell through, but the game still exists.
I did not know that.
Yeah. There was supposed to be a spy. What is the movie? The guy has a cool car? That's the movie? We already have those. They're called Fast and Furious. Don't fuck with the family.
Now, the word badass is what gets me. Because genuinely, I think my guess would have been Fortnite. I genuinely think, like, yeah, of course they're going to start expanding into, like, film adaptations of Fortnite. Of course they are. And The Rock is not afraid of a kid's movie. But
I bet The Rock, if it's Fortnite, I bet The Rock just replaces one of my friends. One of my friends who's a voice in Fortnite. They're like, here comes my big break. It's like, they replace me with The Rock.
one of mine.
Yeah. One of our friends, it's just like, I can't believe it. They're doing an animated movie. It's like, bah!
Yeah.
That's what happened to everybody when Arcane came out. All of our friends were like, yes, yeah. Oh. It's Chibi Robo. Chibi Robo.
I'm gonna hold you in your chair here. I do think God of War actually makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that's a strong possibility.
Oh, yeah. That could definitely happen. You know, there are a lot of things that The Rock fits in, whether you, but not shirts. But there are a lot of movies that The Rock
Doorways.
Yeah. He has
Not
to
doorways.
He has to go like this. Compact cars. But there are a lot of things that The Rock does fit into video game wise. share them on the Discord. A lot of us have been. You should join the Discord if you're not there.
You're so right. It's free.
It's free real estate.
You can literally just get in there.
Just get in there.
And leave some stuff for us. That'd be super cool of you.
Yeah, and let us know what you think. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Y'all have been so outrageously generous with these donos right here. Absolutely ridiculous. I do want to say, this is your reminder that this Friday, before we get into thanking all the BBs, this Friday is the return, the beginning of campaign 2 of Percy! It's very exciting. That is our D&D 5e show, just barely. If you're not super familiar with D&D, I promise you will not be lost any more than we are. It is mostly just 7 best friends yelling improv comedy.
Yeah. Fantasy improv with some dice rolling. You're going to enjoy it.
It is going to be our first time doing the show in our home studio. It's very exciting. Where can I find campaign 1? All of that is available here in the VODs on the channel or on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/pixelcircus.
It's also a podcast if you look it up. You can listen to it while you work.
That's so true. It's on Spotify. It's on all the places that you listen to podcasts.
So join us for that. Also, later on today, this very afternoon, Saige and I will be, of course, on Kinda Funny, reviewing the latest episode of Boba Fett. Boba Fett's making decisions, and we're going to talk about them.
Again, go to the comments, say it's too early, sent you.
We love that. And later on today, on my Twitch channel this afternoon, I got another handheld. The Odin showed up. We're going to unbox and set up my Odin. It's an Android handheld. It's going to be very good. That's twitch.tv/Anthony Carboni. I'm everywhere else on the internet at a Carboni. Twitch, the fuck? You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. I will be live tonight, like 6-ish. Yeah, like 6-ish. You can also find me on the Smosh Games channel, on the Dungeons and Dragons channel, and right here all the dang time.
We want to go ahead and thank everybody who directly supported us during the show. Remember, your subscriptions, if you sub, go towards the entire network, every show, everything we need for upkeep, things like lights and all the new equipment in the new studio to shoot things in person. Your donations go directly to the people you see on camera. So during this show, that would be us. So thank you very much, because I still don't have a job. And so thank you to everybody who directly supported the show today. Santo Hartono, thank you for the bits. Hardliner with the tip. Dagger, are you paying attention to the show? Of course he is. He is the best producer that any show has ever had, ever. Ronan with the tip. 54 Aquasnakes, thank you for the tip. Kaylin Roar saying, what's better than one rock? Two rock. The rock could be Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. Thank you for that. Gab Greg 47 with the tip saying, to help Sugar Breakfast load faster. Thank you very much. Kaylin Roar with the cheer. THL Katrina with the cheer. G-Rex13 resubbing for 11 months saying, let's go. Let's go indeed. That is a big chunk of time. Thank you so much. Kaylin Roar with another cheer. Stevie Stryker with the resub for 5 months. That's a good chunk of time. Thank you for sticking it out with us. Kaylin Roar resubbing for 9 months. Thank you, Kaylin Roar. Little Brassy Atlas for 9 months. Thank you so much. Man, y'all are so generous.
Absolutely ridiculous. And hey, I know you just said that you're so generous. You already did all these things. We also have a Patreon. You don't have to go over there and support it, but there is bonus content over there. We do an extra clip from this show every Friday. We film it on Friday. Sometimes it goes up on Saturday. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a little more of the show. You get access to the full backlog. We are doing a big update to the Patreon very soon, so do keep an eye out for it because new fun stuff is coming.
Yeah.
Ah, goodness, everybody. Thank you so much, truly, for doing this. And hey, look, being here is also enough. Your time is so valuable. The fact that you choose to spend it here is not lost on us, especially this early in the damn morning. So,
love you all. We do a show just so people will watch the show and enjoy it. And if you're doing that, we are the happiest we could be.
Yeah. Maybe you know a friend that'll like it. Yeah. I don't know.
Tell them about it. And until Friday, BBs, we love you. Bye.